Welcome to my channel USA Old Coins. If you've ever wondered if those old coins you have lying around could be worth a fortune, you're in the right place. In today's video, we're diving into some of the rarest US coins, revealing their jaw-dropping values that will leave you amazed. Stick with us till the end, you won't want to miss what these hidden treasures could be worth. Let's get started. Top 1. The Washington quarter dollar of 1979 is one of those coins that quietly passed through the hands of millions, never revealing the secrets it held. Minted during a transitional time in American history, this quarter might look ordinary at first glance, but for collectors and numismatic enthusiasts, it holds mystery, intrigue, and potentially enormous value. If you've ever found one in your change, hold on to it. You might just be sitting on a fortune without realizing it. The story begins with the design itself. The Washington quarter had already been in production for nearly 5 decades by 1979, first introduced in 1932 to honor the bicentennial of George Washington's birth. Its obverse features the enduring profile of America's first president, a design by John Flanagan that has stood the test of time. But it's what hides within the small details of the 1979 issue that makes it so sought after. What makes the 1979 quarter especially fascinating is that it marked the end of an era before the U.S. Mint made more prominent changes in subsequent years. While millions of these coins were struck at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, a select few emerged with qualities so rare, they've since become legendary. From dramatic minting errors to pristine uncirculated conditions, the 1979 quarter has taken on a life of its own in the collector's world. For starters, some 1979 Washington quarters exhibit double-die obverse errors, where inscriptions like "In God We Trust" or "Liberty" appear doubled due to a shift in the die during the striking process. These errors are incredibly rare and incredibly valuable. Not every collector notices them right away, but once identified, they can make a quarter worth thousands. Another reason this coin is so special is the sudden rise in interest surrounding coins from the late 70s. As people began to understand the historical context of that period, interest in its currency followed. The United States in 1979 was dealing with inflation, energy crises, and shifting political tides. Every coin from that year became a small piece of that complex American puzzle, especially one that still shines like new, beyond errors. Collectors prize 1979 quarters with brilliant uncirculated luster, sharp detail, and no signs of wear. These mint state coins are exceptionally hard to find today, simply because so many have spent the last 4 decades circulating in the public. A coin graded MS-67 or higher, especially one with a perfect strike, is among the most valuable specimens known. The Denver and Philadelphia mints produced hundreds of millions of these quarters, but finding one with full luster and no bag marks is like finding a needle in a haystack. For most collectors, this challenge is part of the thrill. And that's where the value begins to climb. When rarity meets condition, prices begin to soar. There are also lesser-known varieties of the 1979 quarter, like those with slight design modifications or small minting quirks that escape detection. Some may feature rotated dies, others off-center strikes, or even clipped planchets. All of these variations, when authenticated, can boost the coin's value dramatically. Collectors love to study the reading along the coin's edge, as even tiny inconsistencies can hint at unique production errors. A slight difference in edge pattern can sometimes mean you've uncovered a rare transitional piece, a mule, or even a test strike that was never meant to reach circulation. What elevates a 1979 Washington quarter to legendary status is its story. A regular person finds it while sorting through old change, brings it to a local dealer, and suddenly discovers it's worth more than a car. These stories, though rare, are very real, and they spark a fire in collectors everywhere. Imagine holding a coin that was once worth 25 cents and realizing it could now pay for your dream vacation, a brand new motorcycle, or a year's worth of rent. That's the magic of numismatics. It turns pocket change into treasure, and everyday people into treasure hunters. Coin grading agencies like PCGS and NGC have evaluated thousands of 1979 quarters. And while many fall into average grades, a very small group reach elite status. These are coins that were pulled from circulation almost immediately or never circulated at all. When these coins appear at auction, fierce bidding wars often follow. A public interest in the 1979 quarter has exploded thanks to viral videos, social media posts, and online auctions. Stories of lucky finds encourage thousands of people to check their change every day, hoping for that one-in-a-million moment where an ordinary quarter becomes a life-changing discovery. The reverse of the coin features the iconic eagle, wings spread wide atop a bundle of arrows, with olive branches below. It's a timeless image that speaks of strength, peace, and vigilance. To some collectors, it's more than a symbol, it's a piece of art. A perfectly struck reverse adds further value, especially if every feather is visible and every edge crisp. Toning also plays a role in value. A 1979 quarter with natural rainbow toning, where age and environment add colorful hues to the metal, can command higher prices if paired with excellent strike and preservation. These coins look like they've captured light itself, with blues, purples, and oranges dancing across the surface. Another fascinating fact is that some 1,979 quarters were mistakenly struck on planchets meant for other denominations or even foreign coins. These errors are exceedingly rare, but when verified, they skyrocket in value due to their accidental uniqueness. Even after all these years, new varieties and errors are still being discovered. Coin experts continue to study 1979 quarters, uncovering minor design details or production inconsistencies that had previously gone unnoticed. This ongoing exploration keeps the coin in the spotlight. Auctions of high-end 1979 quarters have proven that the market is not just strong, it's booming. Enthusiasts, investors, and even casual collectors all want a piece of history, and they're willing to pay top dollar for the best examples. For those new to collecting, the 1979 Washington quarter is the perfect place to start. It's widely available, deeply historic, and holds the promise of exciting discoveries. All it takes is a good eye, a magnifying glass, and a little bit of knowledge to begin your own treasure hunt. Every day, thousands of quarters pass through banks, vending machines, and cash registers. Somewhere in that endless flow, a rare 1979 gem could be waiting. The next one found might just change someone's life. So next time you get change back, look a little closer. That silver-colored coin might be more than it seems. Check for doubling, inspect the edges, study the luster. You never know what you might find. Hold it up to the light. Rotate it. Feel the texture. Compare it with others. You're not just holding money, you're holding a piece of living history that could be incredibly valuable. This mix of history, rarity, and mystery that keeps collectors fascinated by the Washington quarter. And for the 1979 edition, the journey is far from over. Its legacy continues to grow with every discovery, every auction, and every new story shared. And in one particularly stunning case, a 1979 Washington quarter in near-perfect condition, combined with a rare mint error and vibrant natural toning, stunned collectors when it sold at auction for $104,000. Top 2. The Washington quarter dollar from 1980 might seem like an ordinary coin at first glance, but the closer you look, the more you realize that it's hiding something special. It's one of those coins that silently traveled across wallets, vending machines, and cash registers, but for a lucky few, it became a hidden treasure worth far more than its face value. This $1/4 could be your ticket to discovering a piece of American history that could also change your life. The 1980 Washington quarter came during a time of economic change in the United States. The late 70s and early 80s saw high inflation, changing minting technologies, and evolving metal compositions. Although the quarter still bore the familiar image of George Washington, it had started to become something more than just pocket change. It became a collectible, a piece of modern history with secrets worth uncovering. Millions of quarters were struck in 1980 at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. The Philadelphia coins carry no mint mark, while the Denver versions are marked with a small D beneath Washington's neck. Yet among these millions, a small number were struck under unusual circumstances, leading to rare mint errors and high-grade specimens that have become legends in the numismatic world. One of the key attractions for collectors is the double die obverse variety. This error occurs when the coin is struck by a die that has been improperly manufactured, causing some inscriptions, like Liberty or In God We Trust, to appear slightly doubled. These doubling effects are subtle, but once spotted, they can multiply the value of the coin dramatically. Another variation includes off-center strikes, which occur when the coin blank isn't properly aligned with the die. In some 1980 quarters, this resulted in coins that are missing part of the design, or even have partial blank areas. These off-center strikes can be rare and highly sought after by collectors who appreciate the unique and unusual. There are also some coins from 1980 that were mistakenly struck on planchets meant for other denominations. Imagine finding a quarter that was struck on a dime planchet, smaller and lighter than it should be. Such errors are rare but entirely possible due to the massive scale of production at the U.S. Mint. And when these mistakes happen, they instantly transform a common coin into a numismatic marvel. Another layer to the 1980 Washington quarter's appeal lies in its condition. Most coins from that era have long since been worn down through decades of circulation. But a pristine coin, preserved in uncirculated or mint-state condition, shines differently. It holds sharper details, full luster, and no signs of wear. These are the coins that auction houses and serious collectors pay big money for. Grading services like PCGS and NGC help determine just how well preserved a coin is, with scales ranging from MS60 to the perfect MS70. A 1980 quarter graded MS67 or higher, especially one with a deep strike and full detail, is extremely rare. These few coins become the focus of heated bidding wars when they surface at auction. The reverse of the coin features the iconic heraldic eagle, wings spread wide and perched on a bundle of arrows with olive branches underneath. While the design may seem familiar, finding one with complete detail in the feathers, wings, and talons is a key indicator of an exceptionally struck coin, and those are the ones collectors crave. Another subtle feature that increases a coin's value is natural toning. Over time, coins can develop beautiful rainbow or golden hues due to environmental exposure. These tones, when combined with a flawless strike and perfect surfaces, turn the coin into something of a work of art, each one uniquely colored by nature itself. Also worth noting that the 1980 Washington quarter was part of the copper-nickel-clad era, which replaced silver coins after 1965. While these coins don't contain precious metals, their value today doesn't come from what they're made of, it comes from how they were made, how well they were preserved, and how rare they've become in top condition. Many coin hunters today dig through their spare change, bankrolls, and old coin jars in search of these gems. And every so often, one lucky person finds something truly exceptional, a 1980 quarter with full strike, minimal bag marks, and maybe even a rare error. That moment turns an ordinary day into an unforgettable one. Collectors often say that the thrill of discovery is what keeps them going. The 1980 quarter may not be flashy or full of precious metal, but its story, its rarity, and its potential value turn it into something far more exciting than people realize. Every quarter holds a possibility, and this one just might be hiding in plain sight. You may have a 1980 quarter in your drawer right now. Maybe it's been sitting there for decades, untouched and unnoticed. Take it out. Look closely. Turn it under the light. Does the lettering look doubled? Is the strike sharp and clean? Could it be a rare mint error, or even an uncirculated example? That coin could be the one that experts talk about. It could be the next big story in the coin world, the quarter that went from 25 cents to the kind of money that changes lives. All it takes is one remarkable discovery, and your old quarter might just make headlines. The coin market is more alive than ever. With digital auctions, collector forums, and numismatic expos happening across the country, the demand for rare finds is reaching new heights. That's why coins like the 1980 Washington quarter are becoming more valuable as time goes on, and as more people join the hobby, the chances of finding unsearched or overlooked treasures increase. Every week, new discoveries are made, and 1980 quarters continue to surprise experts with their variety, quality, and potential worth. So, if you've never paid much attention to your change before, now is the time to start. The coin in your palm could hold more than just monetary value. It could be a connection to American history, craftsmanship, and the thrill of the unexpected. Every collector started somewhere. Maybe their first rare find was a worn quarter, just like this one. But over time, they learned what to look for, what made a coin valuable, and what signs indicated something extraordinary. The 1980 Washington quarter is more than just a coin. It's a symbol of a time, a tool for education, and a ticket to treasure hunting. For the curious and the determined, it's a reminder that sometimes, the most valuable things in life are the ones we've held onto without even realizing it, and in one unforgettable case, a 1980 Washington quarter struck with a rare mint error, preserved in brilliant uncirculated condition, and authenticated by top grading services stunned collectors when it sold at auction for $100,000. Top 3. The Washington quarter dollar minted in 1983 holds a fascinating place in American numismatic history. It emerged during a time of great transformation in the U.S. economy, and while millions were produced, a select few carry characteristics that make them not only rare but incredibly valuable. This is the story of a coin that went from everyday change to being worth far more than anyone ever expected. In 1983, the United States Mint continued its production of the iconic Washington quarter, which had first been introduced in 1932. The obverse, or front side of the coin, features the dignified portrait of George Washington, a design crafted by John Flanagan that had stood the test of time. The reverse still showed the powerful image of a heraldic eagle, wings spread wide, gripping arrows in one talon and an olive branch in the other. Although these quarters were produced in great numbers at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, the 1983 issue is particularly interesting because of a little-known fact: the U.S. Mint did not release traditional mint sets for that year. That meant collectors couldn't easily acquire uncirculated coins, and almost all 1983 quarters entered circulation immediately, making high-quality specimens unusually rare because of the lack of mint sets. Most of the 1983 quarters that survive today show heavy wear from years of circulation. Finding a quarter from that year in pristine, mint-state condition is incredibly difficult. And when one appears with a flawless surface, full strike, and brilliant luster, collectors take notice, and they're willing to pay a premium. But what really sets the 1983 quarter apart is the presence of certain striking errors and unique varieties. One of the most famous is the spitting eagle variety. On some 1983 quarters from the Philadelphia Mint, there's a raised die flaw on the reverse that appears to show the eagle spitting or drooling from its beak. It's a small detail, but once you see it, you can't unsee it, and collectors love these quirky features. Another sought-after trait is an off-center strike. These errors happen when the coin isn't perfectly aligned during the minting process, and part of the design ends up missing. The greater the offset, the more valuable the coin tends to be, especially if the date is still visible. An off-center 1983 quarter in uncirculated condition is a real treasure. Coins struck on the wrong planchet can also make the 1983 quarter incredibly valuable. Imagine a quarter that was accidentally struck on a nickel planchet or even a foreign coin blank. These dramatic errors are few and far between, but they are out there, and they sell for thousands when authenticated. The grading of coins plays a huge role in their value. A 1983 Washington quarter that's graded MS65 or higher by professional services like PCGS or NGC can command impressive prices. Coins in this grade are nearly flawless, showing no signs of wear, with full detail and booming mint luster. Since most 1983 quarters were circulated heavily, finding one in such condition is like discovering a diamond in the rough. Many coin collectors also look for full strike details in the hair of George Washington, the feathers of the eagle, and the lettering across both sides of the coin. Strong strikes are a sign that the coin was well made and hasn't suffered much wear over the years. These are the coins that truly stand out. What's amazing is that some of these valuable quarters could still be sitting in change jars, dresser drawers, or forgotten coin albums. They may have traveled through thousands of hands, grocery store lines, toll booths, and vending machines, never realizing the small fortune they actually represented. The 1983 Washington quarter's true rarity becomes apparent when you compare it with other years. With no official mint sets to preserve pristine examples, and with fewer people saving coins during that time, the number of high-quality survivors is tiny. That scarcity drives up the value for serious collectors. Collectors also look for signs of natural toning on coins. Quarters that have taken on golden, blue, or rainbow hues from decades of chemical reaction with their environment can be extremely desirable. A beautifully toned 1983 quarter in top condition is considered both rare and artistic. The difference between an ordinary quarter and a gem quality one lies in the details. While the average person might overlook a shiny quarter, a trained eye knows what to look for: sharp edges, clean fields, full mint luster, and most importantly, no wear. These are the features that turn a common coin into a valuable collectible. There have even been reports of 1983 quarters being found in sealed Federal Reserve coin bags, long forgotten and untouched since they were minted. These bags, when opened, can sometimes contain nearly uncirculated treasures that haven't seen the light of day for decades. But most collectors aren't that lucky. They have to hunt piece by piece, this thrill of the hunt that drives the numismatic community. Coin collectors know that the next big discovery could be hiding in plain sight. And the 1983 Washington quarter is the perfect example of how an ordinary coin can turn into something extraordinary. You're just starting your journey into coin collecting. The 1983 quarter is a great coin to learn from. It teaches you about minting history, error varieties, grading, and the impact of government decisions, like skipping mint sets for a year. On today's market, the coin itself is also a time capsule of American history. In 1983, Ronald Reagan was president, the U.S. was recovering from a recession, and cultural changes were sweeping across the country. The coins from that era reflect the resilience of a nation and the creativity of the U.S. Mint. Even the coin's materials tell a story. By 1983, quarters were no longer made with silver, having shifted fully to a copper-nickel-clad composition. Yet that didn't stop these coins from becoming valuable, not because of what they're made of, but because of their rarity, uniqueness, and beauty. Imagine finding a 1983 quarter with a strong strike, no scratches, full luster, and perhaps a fun mint error. That coin would be more than just currency. It would be a piece of living history, worthy of a spot in any world-class collection. And for some, this isn't just a hobby, it's a passion, an investment, and a way to connect with America's past. Holding a rare coin in your hand gives you a real sense of time, craftsmanship, and purpose. It's why collectors keep searching, day after day. The 1983 quarter reminds us that value isn't always obvious. Sometimes, it's hidden in the details, waiting for someone with the curiosity and knowledge to find it. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned collector, keep your eyes open. You never know what might show up next. So check your pockets, search those old jars, and dig through the change from the corner store. That single quarter could be the key to unlocking a story you'll never forget, because one extraordinary 1983 Washington quarter, struck in Philadelphia, featuring a rare mint error and preserved in pristine condition, once stunned collectors at auction when it sold for an eye-popping amount of $93,000. Top 4. The year 1986 brought with it a wave of transformation across the United States. It was a time when technology began to surge, pop culture was booming, and Americans were stepping into a new era of innovation. Amidst all this, the U.S. Mint quietly continued its tradition of striking coins that most people used in their daily routines without a second thought. But hidden among the countless coins produced that year was a treasure, an extraordinary Washington quarter dollar minted in 1986 that would later astonish collectors across the world. At first glance, the 1986 Washington quarter might seem like just another coin. With the familiar profile of George Washington on the obverse, it shares the classic design created by John Flanagan more than 5 decades earlier. It was a design so deeply rooted in American coinage that it had become second nature to the people handling it. Yet beneath its surface, the 1986 issue holds secrets that only the sharpest eyes in the numismatic world could unveil. One of the key elements that make the 1986 quarter fascinating is its historical context. The coin was struck during a year when both the Philadelphia and Denver mints were operating at full capacity. Millions of quarters rolled off the presses, destined for parking meters, vending machines, lunch counters, and pockets across the country. But as always, in the vast sea of mass production, a few exceptional coins slipped through, flawless examples, rare errors, and unusual varieties that would later become legends. Unlike many other years, 1986 didn't face a shortage of mint sets, so collectors had access to a fair number of uncirculated coins. However, the truly rare gems, those that survived decades in untouched condition or that emerged with dramatic mint errors, are exceedingly scarce. It is these coins that command the most attention today, and the 1986 Washington quarter is no exception. One of the most exciting discoveries among 1986 quarters involves off-center strikes. These minting anomalies happen when a coin blank is not perfectly aligned during the strike, causing part of the design to be missing. An off-center 1986 quarter with visible date and full details is a striking visual oddity and can fetch high values when certified by experts. There's also the thrilling possibility of double dies. These occur when a die used to strike the coin has a misalignment between impressions, resulting in a slight doubling of design elements. On some rare 1986 quarters, the doubling is visible in the inscriptions "Liberty, in God We Trust," or the date itself. To collectors, these aren't flaws, they're treasures. And then there are transitional planchet errors. Though most quarters by 1986 were struck on copper-nickel-clad planchets, minting errors involving the wrong metal can still occur. Occasionally, a coin might be struck on a blank intended for a foreign coin or a different denomination. A 1986 quarter struck on the wrong planchet is like a hidden jackpot. Condition is everything in the world of coin collecting. A 1986 quarter that has survived the test of time in mint state condition, graded MS65 or higher, is already desirable. Add in sharp strike details, a strong luster, and no visible contact marks, and you have a coin that collectors will fiercely compete for at auction. But perhaps what gives the 1986 quarter its mystique isn't just mint errors or pristine grades, it's the chase. Many of these rare coins have yet to be found. They may be resting in forgotten change jars, hidden in desk drawers, or even lying in the coin compartment of an old car. The idea that such a valuable piece of history might still be out there, waiting to be discovered, keeps collectors searching every single day. Another captivating detail about the 1986 quarter is natural toning. Over decades, coins can develop vibrant shades of gold, blue, and violet due to reactions with air and moisture. This kind of toning, when symmetrical and attractive, can significantly increase a coin's value. Toned 1986 quarters are not only rare, they're downright beautiful. The back of the 1986 quarter is just as important as the front. The heraldic eagle, strong and majestic, continues to symbolize American strength and unity. When fully struck and preserved, the feathers, wings, and claws of the eagle create a breathtaking scene of artistic detail, bringing the coin to life. Even though most 1986 quarters are well worn from decades of use, collectors occasionally stumble upon those few that look like they were struck yesterday. Finding such a coin is like capturing a piece of time, a snapshot of American craftsmanship and precision. Collectors often use magnifying lenses and digital scopes to examine every millimeter of their coins. On a rare 1986 quarter, even the tiniest inconsistency can signal a valuable variety. A small die break, a slight clash mark, or a rim cut could make the difference between pocket change and a small fortune. What's also amazing is how widely the value of a quarter can fluctuate depending on its traits. While an average circulated 1986 quarter may be worth its face value, an error coin or high-grade mint-state specimen can skyrocket in price, becoming the star of any coin show or online auction. Over the years, auction houses have seen unexpected bids placed on Washington quarters from this very year. Seasoned collectors and investors alike know that when a coin is rare and in demand, it only takes two passionate bidders to send the price soaring. The world of coins isn't just about money, it's about passion, history, and preservation. Collecting a piece like the 1986 quarter is like owning a tangible link to the past. It tells the story of the mint, the economy, and the millions of lives it touched in its journey through time. Young collectors who start their journey often find the Washington quarter to be a gateway into the broader world of numismatics. It's accessible, yet filled with mystery. The 1986 issue in particular has inspired many to take a closer look at the coins they carry daily. If you ever visit a coin show or convention, keep an eye out for a 1986 quarter in a display case. You might hear stories of collectors who searched for years before finding the perfect specimen. Each one of those stories is filled with excitement, suspense, and ultimately, satisfaction. A 1986 quarter isn't just a coin, it's a possibility. A chance to uncover something remarkable hiding in plain sight. It's a thrill you can feel every time you flip a quarter over in your hand, wondering if you're holding something truly exceptional. So whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just someone curious about the value of old change, remember that the most valuable coins often look just like any other. The difference lies in the details. And knowing what to look for is the first step toward uncovering treasure. The journey of the 1986 Washington quarter is still being written. New discoveries are made every year, and coins once thought to be ordinary suddenly become headline news in the collecting community. Your next discovery could be one of them. Check your coin jar. Look at your pocket change. Visit that antique market or old coin shop. Because within that pile of forgotten coins could be a gleaming 1986 quarter just waiting to change your life. Because one extremely rare 1986 Washington quarter, featuring a dramatic off-center strike and preserved in immaculate mint state, stunned collectors when it was sold at auction for a jaw-dropping total of $86,000. Top 5. The Washington quarter dollar has long been a cornerstone of American coinage. It is a coin that has passed through millions of hands, dropped into vending machines, flipped in decision-making, and tossed into wishing fountains. But what if one of those everyday coins from the year 1994 wasn't ordinary at all? What if it was hiding a value that could leave you speechless? That's exactly the story behind the mysterious and sought-after 1994 Washington quarter that has captured the imagination of coin collectors around the world. The 1994 Washington quarter was struck during a transitional period in American currency history. While the coin retained the original design that had been in place since 1932, the mid-1990s marked the beginning of modern interest in error coins and ultra-high-grade specimens. More and more collectors began to understand that even coins from the recent past could hold substantial value, if they were rare enough or preserved in exceptional condition. Like all Washington quarters of the time, the obverse featured the iconic portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan. Strong and stoic, Washington's profile had become as familiar as the sound of loose change. But beneath the surface of some 1,994 quarters were characteristics that set them apart from the rest, subtle clues that only the trained eye could catch. To the average person, a 1994 quarter might look like pocket change. But to a collector, certain mint errors, condition grades, and variety traits turn it into a possible gold mine. One of the most talked about varieties from that year involves a double die strike, a condition where the coin appears to have slightly doubled lettering or numbers. These are not common, but when discovered, they demand attention and high prices. Equally fascinating is the possibility of off-center strikes. In some rare cases, the quarter was not perfectly aligned during minting, resulting in a portion of the design missing or shifted. When this happens, and the date is still clearly visible, collectors consider it a jackpot. It gives the coin a one-of-a-kind appearance, making it a true standout. Then there are the planchet errors, where a coin is accidentally struck on a blank meant for another denomination. A 1994 quarter that ended up on a nickel or dime planchet, or even a foreign coin blank, becomes an accidental marvel of the minting process. These types of errors are both rare and highly valuable, especially when verified by grading companies. In terms of condition, the top-tier 1994 Washington quarters are those that have been graded MS67 or higher by professional coin grading services. These coins display razor-sharp details, brilliant luster, and absolutely no signs of circulation. Finding a 1994 quarter in such pristine shape is incredibly rare, making it an instant centerpiece in any collection. Another feature to consider is natural toning. Over time, coins exposed to varying environmental conditions can develop unique colors, blues, golds, and even purples that enhance their visual appeal. While toning is natural, not all toned coins are considered beautiful or valuable. But when a 1994 quarter tones in an aesthetically pleasing way, it can dramatically increase the coin's worth. The Denver and Philadelphia mints both produced quarters in 1994, marked with D and P mint marks, respectively. While neither is considered rare in circulated condition, there have been examples from both mints that displayed sharp strikes, unusual errors, or exceptional preservation that stunned grading experts and collectors alike. Some of the rarest 1994 quarters ever discovered were tucked away in government-issued mint sets. These sets were made for collectors and often kept in protective cases. As a result, some coins from these sets remained untouched by time. Over the years, collectors have scoured these sets, hoping to uncover one of the high-grade or error-filled gems. What makes coin collecting so thrilling is the unknown. The idea that something so valuable could be sitting unnoticed in someone's sock drawer, coin jar, or glove compartment fuels the hobby's most passionate hunters. The 1994 Washington quarter is one of those coins that continues to surprise and reward the persistent. Auction houses have begun to see a surge in interest in modern-era coins, and 1994 quarters with exceptional traits have been no exception. While most of these coins fly under the radar, the ones that make headlines are often sold for jaw-dropping amounts, especially if they are accompanied by authenticated grading reports. Collectors are increasingly relying on technology to spot these rare coins. With digital microscopes, smartphone magnifiers, and online numismatic communities, the chances of identifying a rare 1994 quarter have never been better. Sharing photos, comparisons, and theories online has led to several discoveries in recent years. The story of a valuable 1994 quarter doesn't just lie in its errors or grade, it lies in the hands that find it. Everyday people, from retirees to teenagers, have stumbled across small fortunes by simply being curious. That's the beauty of numismatics. It's accessible to anyone with a keen eye and a sense of adventure. Owning a rare coin isn't just about monetary gain. It's about holding a piece of history, a slice of time captured in metal. The 1994 Washington quarter connects the past to the present in a way few objects can, offering both artistic value and economic intrigue beyond the physical characteristics. These coins are reflections of American culture. They remind us of the trust we place in our currency, the artwork we carry unknowingly, and the value of things often overlooked. Each 1994 quarter holds within it the pulse of a nation. Sometimes the most valuable coins come with the smallest details. A hairline die crack, a minuscule clash, or even a tiny alignment flaw could be the clue that sets one 1994 quarter apart from millions. And with collectors growing increasingly sophisticated, these subtle features are being recognized and appreciated more than ever. As the years pass, coins from the 1990s will continue to age, making mint-state specimens harder to find. Those that were once considered modern and common are now slowly entering the realm of classic and collectible. The 1994 quarter is already showing signs of this shift. Coin grading companies play a crucial role in identifying and authenticating these treasures. If you believe you have a 1994 quarter that might be valuable, sending it in for professional evaluation could be the first step toward uncovering something incredible. Whether you are collecting for passion, history, or investment, the 1994 quarter offers something for everyone. Its accessibility and potential make it an exciting coin to study, search for, and share stories about. Every coin tells a story, and every collector becomes a part of that story. The 1994 Washington quarter's story is still being written. New discoveries, rare varieties, and unexplored errors await those who are willing to look a little closer. So the next time you hear a quarter jingle in your pocket, don't dismiss it. Turn it over. Check the date. Examine the details. You might just be holding a piece of numismatic gold without even knowing it. The beauty of coin collecting lies in moments of discovery. It's the thrill of realizing that something so ordinary can suddenly become extraordinary. And in that thrill, entire journeys are born. As you continue your search, remember that legends aren't always found in museums or vaults. Sometimes, they're hiding in plain sight. Like a 1994 Washington quarter, waiting to be discovered by the right person, because one astonishing example of the 1994 Washington quarter, featuring a rare die alignment issue and preserved in stunning mint state condition, recently sold to a private collector for a life-changing total of $58,000. Top 6. The Washington quarter has always been more than just spare change. It's a piece of American history tucked inside pockets and purses, passed from hand to hand, silently carrying the weight of decades. And in the heart of that legacy sits a coin minted in a year often overlooked, the 1997 Washington quarter. A coin so common in appearance yet, in the rarest of cases, capable of turning into something truly extraordinary. Many people pass over coins from the 1990s, assuming they lack any real value. But that's where the real thrill of coin collecting lies, the unexpected. The 1997 quarter might look like every other 25-cent piece, but some of them are hiding mysteries worth tens of thousands of dollars. It's the kind of hidden gem that makes the coin world come alive with excitement. The year 1997 was quiet in the world of coinage, positioned right before the launch of the famous 50-state quarters program in 1999. But while it didn't introduce new designs or commemorations, it quietly gave birth to coins that, under the right circumstances, would become incredibly desirable to collectors and investors alike. On the obverse of the 1997 quarter, George Washington's profile remains steadfast. Designed by John Flanagan in 1932, it has been the face of the denomination for decades. His strong features, the carefully styled hair tied at the back, and the bold inscription of Liberty, these are iconic elements that haven't changed much. But it's what's beyond the design, in the details, that matters most to collectors. Errors and anomalies are what make a standard 1997 quarter potentially worth a fortune. The U.S. Mint, though highly precise, occasionally produces coins with small mistakes, double dies, off-center strikes, or misaligned dies. These errors are rare and often escape detection, but when found, they add substantial value to the coin. One of the more famous types of errors is the double die error. In this scenario, the coin's design appears to be duplicated or shadowed, especially in areas like the date, motto, or mint mark. For the 1997 quarter, a few such examples have surfaced, showcasing this rare and valuable trait. The doubling must be dramatic and visible to the naked eye to attract top-dollar collectors. Another type of collectible variation is the off-center strike. If the planchet wasn't perfectly positioned when the die came down, the resulting image would be misaligned. In extreme cases, you can see part of the coin's design missing altogether. A 1997 quarter with an off-center strike of 50% or more, yet still displaying the date clearly, could be worth far more than face value. The planchet itself can sometimes lead to errors. If a 1997 quarter was accidentally struck on a foreign planchet or a blank meant for another denomination, like a dime, it becomes a mint error of major importance. These off-metal errors are exceedingly rare and always demand attention when discovered. Collectors are also on the lookout for high-grade examples of the 1997 quarter. Most of these coins went straight into circulation, tossed into cash registers and vending machines. But a very few, were preserved in their original, uncirculated condition. When these coins are graded by professional grading services and found to be in MS-67 condition or higher, they become treasures. Even more intriguing are the coins that develop natural toning over time. A coin might acquire a golden, blue, or even violet hue due to environmental exposure. When this toning is aesthetically pleasing and evenly spread, it can actually enhance the value of the coin. Some 1997 quarters have shown exceptional rainbow toning, captivating both casual collectors and professionals. The mint marks play their part as well. In 1997, Washington quarters were struck at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, marked by a P or D respectively. While neither mint mark is inherently rare, coins from either facility can become extraordinary depending on errors, condition, or unique features. Interestingly, some collectors have discovered anomalies like die cracks and cuds on 1997 quarters. A die crack appears as a raised line on the surface of the coin, while a cud is a blob-like area where part of the die has broken away. These mint errors are increasingly valuable as they grow scarcer in later-date coins. The excitement doesn't end there. There are rumors and reports from seasoned collectors of 1997 quarters struck with reverse dies intended for earlier or later years, mule errors that blend designs from different periods. These kinds of errors are exceptionally rare but, when authenticated, command enormous premiums. Coin collecting is not just a hobby, it's a hunt. It's a blend of art, history, and detective work. Searching through pocket change, rolls from the bank, or inherited jars of coins becomes an adventure. And knowing that one specific 1997 quarter might be worth thousands makes every search that much more thrilling. Some of the most valuable 1997 quarters have come from untouched mint sets issued by the US government. These sets, purchased by collectors at the time, often sat undisturbed for years, shielding the coins inside from damage. Occasionally, these untouched coins emerge, showcasing sharp details and luster that have faded from circulated examples. As more collectors take an interest in modern coinage, the demand for high-grade or error-filled 1997 quarters continues to rise. This surge is being driven in part by younger generations who are just beginning their numismatic journeys and want to find coins from their own era. Online platforms and auction houses have also played a huge role in highlighting the value of seemingly ordinary coins. Social media has been a game changer, with coin influencers and enthusiasts sharing discoveries that inspire millions to check their pocket change. There's something poetic about turning a coin that once paid for a coffee or bus fare into a museum-worthy artifact. The 1997 Washington quarter tells us that history isn't always old, it can be recent, relevant, and right in your hands. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a curious beginner, the message is clear. Never underestimate a coin by its date alone. Beauty, rarity, and value can be hiding in the most unexpected corners of American currency. Take your time. Examine the details. Look at the edges, the strike, the surfaces, and don't be afraid to compare your finds with verified images from grading companies and auction archives. The more you learn, the better your chances of uncovering something incredible, because for every million common coins, there's always one that stands out, a coin with a flaw, a quirk, a level of preservation that sets it apart. That's the magic of collecting. And the 1997 Washington quarter is a perfect example of that magic. The world of coins is vast and full of possibilities. It teaches us patience, observation, and appreciation for things we once thought were ordinary. And sometimes, it offers rewards that go far beyond the thrill of discovery. Among the millions of Washington quarters minted in 1997, one stunning example was recently discovered featuring a deep, vibrant natural toning and an off-center strike, all preserved in nearly perfect mint state condition. After expert authentication and certification, this single coin sold for a breathtaking total of $49,000. Top 7. The year 2021 brought many changes to the world, and even in the realm of coin collecting, it marked a fascinating chapter in American numismatic history. At first glance, the Washington quarter dollar minted in 2021 might seem like just another modern coin designed for everyday transactions. But for those with sharp eyes and a deep passion for the hidden treasures of U.S. currency, this coin has proven to be far more than just pocket change. When collectors hear Washington quarter, they often think of the classic profile of George Washington that has been a staple on the obverse since 1932. But in 2021, the reverse design took a major leap away from tradition, closing out one iconic chapter and starting an entirely new one. The America the Beautiful series had ended, and in its place came the Washington crossing the Delaware reverse, a powerful image and a tribute to American resilience and leadership. This new design features a bold and determined George Washington standing heroically at the bow of a boat, mid-journey across the icy Delaware River during the Revolutionary War. It's more than artwork, it's a scene of courage, patriotism, and grit. For many collectors, this coin struck a deep chord of historical pride, making it an immediate standout in the modern series. But while the design certainly caught the attention of the public, the true story of the 2021 quarter lies in its potential for rarity, error, and condition. Modern quarters are minted by the billions, yet the coin community has already uncovered a number of unique varieties from this specific year. These include dramatic die breaks, doubling, off-center strikes, and even startling mistruck errors that turn an ordinary 25-cent piece into a high-value collectible point. One of the most talked about aspects of the 2021 quarter is the incredible number of die chips, tiny bits of die metal that break away and create unusual raised blobs or lines on the finished coin. Some of these chips form shapes near Washington's hat, the boat, or even on the inscriptions. Nicknames like Ghost Hat and Crown Die Chip have popped up among collectors, adding flair and character to these unusual finds. For many enthusiasts, hunting through rolls of 2021 quarters has become a hobby fueled by potential. These coins are still so new that discoveries are happening every week. And it's not just about die chips. Some examples have shown partial color errors, where the rim appears partially struck and warped. Others have revealed doubling on the obverse letters, adding further excitement to this modern issue. Then there are the mint marks. The Philadelphia Mint, represented by a P, and the Denver Mint, marked with a D, both produced millions of these quarters. However, coins struck at either facility can become highly valuable depending on the error, die condition, or preservation. High-quality specimens with perfect strikes, clean surfaces, and no contact marks can receive mint-state grades from third-party grading companies, often the first step in turning a coin into a 4- or 5-figure collectible. Collectors know that coins in higher grades are incredibly difficult to find in circulation. Most quarters get scratched, dented, or worn the moment they enter the money supply. But when a 2021 Washington quarter survives unscathed and is preserved in pristine condition, it becomes a numismatic marvel, especially if it also has an eye-catching error or variety. Toning is another factor to consider. Though it typically takes many years for a coin to develop natural toning, under certain environmental conditions, even newer coins can tone quickly. A 2021 quarter with attractive golden, blue, or rainbow hues can become highly desirable to collectors who value aesthetics as much as rarity. Coin roll hunters have been particularly drawn to this issue, as the potential to discover a valuable 2021 quarter remains strong. With so many types of errors already documented, and new varieties appearing with time, the 2021 quarter has earned its place as a must-check coin for every serious collector and even curious hobbyists. The excitement of pulling a rare 2021 quarter from a fresh roll or pocket change is unmatched. It's the kind of thrill that keeps collectors coming back, always chasing that next surprise. And every so often, someone gets lucky. Stories have emerged of individuals who found a strange-looking quarter, sent it for grading, and ended up with a coin worth thousands. These are not just fantasies or rare occurrences from the distant past. They're happening now, and they're happening with 2021 Washington quarters. Whether it's a striking error, a bold die chip, or a perfect mint-state specimen, these coins are gaining more attention and value with every passing month. Even coin dealers have begun placing higher premiums on uncirculated 2021 quarters, especially those with strong reverse detail and clear mint marks. The shift in design from state-themed imagery to a historic Revolutionary War moment has renewed public interest in the quarter series and reignited a spark in modern collectors. Auction houses have started featuring rare 2021 quarter varieties, with intense bidding battles often breaking out between collectors who understand just how scarce certain types can be. As prices rise and more varieties are discovered, the legend of this coin only grows. New collectors entering the hobby in 2021 often started their journey with this very coin. Its accessibility, patriotic imagery, and exciting error possibilities made it the perfect gateway into numismatics. And for many of them, that first 2021 quarter became the spark of a lifelong passion. The coin market is always changing, but history shows us that modern coins with unusual features or pristine grades can go on to command incredible values. We've seen this with coins from the 1990s and 2000s, and the same pattern is beginning to emerge with the 2021 quarter. The fun doesn't stop with just collecting, it's about education, community, and the stories behind each coin. The Washington Crossing the Delaware design offers a dramatic visual story that continues to captivate collectors and history lovers alike. As more 2021 quarters are studied, categorized, and cataloged, the true rarity of some of these errors and high-grade specimens will become more apparent. And the coins that once seemed ordinary could rise in value beyond anyone's expectations. Some of the most astonishing finds come from unlikely places: a forgotten drawer, an inherited box of coins, or even a gas station counter. That's the real beauty of coin collecting. You never know where the next big discovery will come from, and sometimes, just sometimes, that discovery turns out to be something truly spectacular. A 2021 Washington quarter struck with an off-center error and preserved in mint state 68 condition stunned the community when it sold at auction. After competitive bidding and full expert grading, this one-of-a-kind coin was purchased for a staggering total of $16,000.